are thrilled that you are joining us today for our session on the upcoming conference. And our goal today is to really kind of walk you through some of our 4 tips to help you prepare for the conference. And then we also want to share with you what we're doing. And so with that, I'm going to introduce our phenomenal leader, Nancy G. Allen. For anyone who doesn't know Nancy, first of all, why do you not know this amazing woman? You need her in your life. And I am beaming with pride every time I go out and get to talk about her. And Nancy, I have to say, I was at a fabulous event last week that some of our WBEs attended up here in Jacksonville, and I had your books out. And I had so many people coming up and asking about the book. And what was great, especially the one I had, which is How to Start, I was able to say, and I'm living proof. I followed these tips before the book even existed. And I am 5 years later as a business owner. So we just are so honored to have this woman leading the charge for us, championing, advocating, and helping us all grow as phenomenal women business owners. Nancy, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to share your presentation, and we are going to get started with our session today. So if everyone can just hold tight.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Steph, for your kind words and introduction. And this conference is one of my favorite events of all time because it's every year bigger and better and more interesting, more fun. And this year it will be even more fun because there is a running theme with the colors, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But our color is orange, and so we're inviting everyone to wear orange throughout the conference so that you can identify maybe some WBEs from Florida that you don't know, and it's a really great conversation starter. What we thought we'd do this morning in preparation for the conference is to basically go over 4 ways to level up for the Momentum Conference. And we're pulling information from a couple of different workshops that we've done in the past. And the intent here is just to help you really prepare and feel very, very comfortable while you're at the conference, right? There'll be, over 4,000 people, over 300 booths. It could be a little bit overwhelming. But we want you to be as prepared as possible. So this is just an overview. You can always contact us offline if you have any specific questions, or, I encourage you to share them in the chat, because if you've got a question, somebody else might have the same question as well. So today we're going to go over the research, what you should be doing now to get prepared. We're going to talk a little bit about your capability statement, because yes, you need one. How to prepare your pitch. We're going to talk a bit about follow-up, because you can start seeding how you're going to be following up while you're actually at the conference. And then we'll go through with you what our own agenda is. We have a couple of meetups. We've got some ideas to share. So we'll go over that as well during this presentation. So your capability statement is basically a 1-page bio for your business. And I am on a mission to help you, all women business owners, understand that you can have more than one capability statement. As a matter of fact, you should have more than one, because you want it, whatever you're presenting to a corporate representative, you want it to speak to them directly. So let's say that you're in HR or staffing or even IT, right? And you have 5 targets, 5 people that you want to be meeting. You can have 5 different capability statements. So let's say that you're meeting, you're a staffing company and you're meeting with Coca-Cola. Well, Coca-Cola is all about food and beverage, right? So beverage, who else do you do business with in the food and beverage industry? Then let's say that you want to meet with financial institutions. Which financial institutions do you do business with? That's what you would speak to directly on your capability statement. So this is one of my favorite quotes. It is attributed to, Oprah Winfrey, superstar, but it's really from the philosopher Seneca, and it says, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And I really believe that. People very often will look at someone and say, oh, she's so lucky she got that meeting, or she's so lucky she landed that contract. Yeah, luck had a bit, she was in the right place at the right time, but she was also prepared, right? And that's how we can make our own luck, by being prepared and attending conferences like the WBENC conference, because that's where you're going to have lots of opportunities to shine, to show how you can provide some really great solutions to the corporations that are there that are actually looking to do business with women-owned companies. Right? So the first thing you should do is identify the top 5 contacts that you want to make. And again, I'm often asked, how do I narrow it down to 5? I've got 20 people I want to meet. Well, if you are looking to meet with 20 corporate representatives over the 8 hours or so that the conference, the showroom, the expo is open, you're going to be running around like a chicken without a head. But if you say, I'm looking for these top 5 contacts, I want to meet these 5 corporations, that gives you plenty of time to do the right research. It gives you plenty of time to get familiar with those companies and how you can be a solutions provider. And yeah, if you get through those 5, then you have time and an open mind to say, I'm now going to go after this person or that person. Limit your expectations, because there's a lot going on at the conference. And the more to-dos you have on your list, the more stressed you're going to be. And that comes across in everything that you do. If you're stressed and running around trying to meet all of your contacts. So that's why I always recommend 5 to 7 contacts. Do your research and be ready for them. I suggest that you sign up for the show planner on the WBENC website, and go on to the next slide, Steph, and we'll show you where you can sign up on the show planner. So if you go to the exhibits tab on the WBENC conference website, so you go from the WBENC website to events, you click on the national conference. From there, you click on the exhibitor directory or exhibitors, and you'll have an opportunity to sign up. This is a really good platform that helps you map out who you want to see, when you want to see them, and that sort of thing. And it's pretty easy to log in, and you can take notes, you can send yourself reminders, etc. So it's a really good tool to be able to use. Again, remember, I think they're close to 400 booths, right? So you want to be able to know where you're going. WBENC has the booths lined up by industry. So all the financial services are in one area, all the food and beverage in an area, retail in another area. And on the map on the website, it's color coded so that you can easily find where you're going. Next, this is a prompt that I am suggesting that you use on LinkedIn, right? It's really important to connect on LinkedIn to the people that are, part of your contacts and the people you hope to meet. Will they respond to you on LinkedIn? Maybe, maybe not, but in any case, it's an exercise in gratitude, and it's an exercise in preparing for the conference. So you would say, dear Fernando is with Coca-Cola. Dear Fernando, I am looking forward to attending the WBENC conference. Thank you so much for your company's sponsorship and support of this outstanding event. I look forward to meeting you at the conference. And then you just sign your name. Connect with Fernando, connect with Chris Oswald of UPS, connect with, the people from Amazon, and you can send that kind of note to them. So the capability statement is a one-page bio for your company, right? And it usually has these 12 elements. Does it have to have all 12? No, but it should have the majority of these different elements in your capability statement. And we still have some time. If yours isn't ready yet, or if you'd like for us to take a look, we'll have a way that you can connect with us at the end of the presentation, and we're happy. Steph and I really have lots of experience helping spiff up or redo capability statements, and you can have a lot of fun with your capability statement, right? It reflects your personality, it reflects the goals, your mission, your vision, your branding. And I'm going to show you a couple of very different examples to, again, drive home the point that you can be creative and you can use different styles for different people that you're connecting with. But yeah, obviously you want to have your contact information, right? That's really important. And if you're going with more than one person from your team, so let's say that it's you and your sales manager, or it's you and your VP of marketing, and you know that this other person is going to be meeting and connecting and establishing a relationship with the corporations, then their contact information should be on the capability statement, okay? Not yours, because again, we're making connections. So your business description is a second thing. Photos, we're going to talk about that in a minute. Your geographic reach, it is okay to say that your geographic reach is local. Take advantage of the fact that you know the local market. Sometimes that's very, very important. As corporations are expanding and growing, they want to know that they can connect with you because you know that local market. Your expertise, obviously, you want to highlight that, the differentiators, your customers or clients. We very often will get the question, well, you know, I work with Pepsi, but I'd really like to work with Coca-Cola. Should I let them know? Yes, let them know, because that means that you know the industry, okay? And no one is expecting that you will only work with one corporation unless you have to sign some sort of an exclusivity or an NDA, and those are not too common when you're first starting to work with someone. So absolutely toot your own horn and say, this is who I'm working with in a similar industry, and here's what I've done for them and what I can do for you as well. Awards and commendations, very important. Your key personnel, obviously your industry codes and your certifications. And then again, keep in mind your branding and your logo, because corporations, representatives, if they really like what they see, they're going to check out your website. They're going to look at your social media. They're going to look at your LinkedIn. So you want to make sure that your branding is consistent. So here is an example of a really great capability statement. And this is Corporate Fitness Works. And what I like about this statement is that it's taking full advantage of the 2 pages. Remember, it's a one-page document, but that page has a front and it has a back. You don't want to be stapling anything, because that's the staple is going to get caught on something, and it's just going to get messed up. So you just want the one page. You can use the front and the back. You could also elect to leave the back blank so that people could take notes. The second thing I like and want to highlight about this capability statement is the icons that are used, right? So without reading, because this is a lot to read here, and I'll show you a couple of different examples, but this is a lot to read. But without reading, just from looking at this, that Corporate Fitness Works has over 600 employees. You know that they are in 21 different states. You know that they are award winning, et cetera, right? So you can use these kinds of icons to your advantage to just kind of spotlight, here is how I am different. A third thing that I like about this statement is the fact that they're using some photos, some really great photos, right? So here again, even if you didn't read any of this, even if you didn't pick up that it's about fitness by the name, looking at these photos, you would be able to identify, okay, this is the type of company that this is, right? So use photos to your advantage. The fourth thing is the legacy. And this was very intentionally done because Beth Vivio purchased a company that was owned by a very well-known within the WBENC circles, a very well-known Brenda Loeb, who owned Corporate Fitness Works. Brenda sold the company to Beth. Beth wanted to reassure the existing customers and potential customers who had been hearing about Corporate Fitness Works for many years prior to her purchasing the company. She wanted to reassure them that the goals, the mission, the objectives, and her own creativity and expertise were going to be consistent. So that's why she talks about the legacy and leadership. And then finally, the fifth thing that I really like about this is this use of a QR code, right? And I really recommend that you do that. It's really an easy way to connect. In this case, the QR code is going to their website. You could have it go to a landing page just about the conference. You could have it go to, a specific place on your website. So you can really use this to your advantage. So here's another example, and very different, as you can see from the previous one. This is a company called Pink Stork, owned by Amy Upchurch. And here are a couple of things that I really like about this. Number one, she's highlighted right front and center that she is woman-owned. Okay. And I think that's really a good thing to say she's a woman-owned company. The second thing, where to find us. And this is very impactful. See, she's got these very recognizable logos. This is where you can buy her product. The third is just a brief Pink Stork story, okay, which speaks to why she started the business, what her passion is. And then number four, why Pink Stork, and she's got four bullet points here. I'm also going to draw your attention to the left-hand side, where you see what I just mentioned. If you bring someone other than yourself to the conference and they're passing out your capability statement, put their contact information. So here, Allie Smith is her head of marketing, right? So Amy is the founder and CEO. Allie Smith is the one meeting with whatever corporate representative. So here is her contact information. Okay, so Sesco, again, different from the previous two, but it has some really interesting elements that I want to share with you. Certifications, right down here, number one. She is woman-owned. She's SBA WOSB certified, and she's also Hub certified. So if you have more than one certification, you definitely want to highlight that on your capability statement, because what happens is these corporations are looking, they have goals and metrics that they have to meet with different kinds of certifications and certification agencies, right? So you want to let them know right up front, I'm woman-owned, I'm minority-owned, I'm LGBTQ certified. All of the certifications that apply, you should highlight those. The second thing is, I think, her really wonderful use of logos. And she didn't even put our clients. It's just obvious that these are her clients, right? So I thought that was really, really clever. Number three, about Sesco. So she states, we are a strong 54-year-old company that provides excellent customer service, cost savings, and innovative technologies to our valued clients. She did the math for the person who's reading this, right? So instead of saying, the company was established in whatever 54 years from today was, and the person would have to do the math to see that the company is 54 years old, she just says it, we're 54 years old. If you are a younger company, you could always say, we have 30 years experience in this industry, right? You worked for someone else, you started your own company, use that as the way to distinguish yourself. So community involvement, and this is really, really important. In this instance, Billy Bryant is in the technology space, but look at what she's highlighting as her community involvement. For the past 3 years, Sesco has designed, delivered, and sponsored young girls at Harmony Schools in Dallas to attend the Go for the Greens Women's Conference in Orlando. So she is reaching back into the community. She is doing something that she believes in, that is still focused on women, and is a good way for a corporate representative to see that it's profit and purpose in her world, right? If you are involved in your community, you need to highlight that, because corporations want to do business, especially now that everything is being measured against ESG, environment, social, and governance. The corporations are looking to see that their supply chain is involved as well in the ESG principles, right? So this would fall under the social part of the ESG principles. She is reaching back out into her community and making a difference. So don't forget to use those examples as well in your own capability statement. Okay, so next let's talk about your pitch, right? And this is a way to make a fabulous first impression. So the elements of a great pitch. You definitely want to talk about your passion and your why. You want to tell your story, because we remember stories. So I don't know if you all had a chance to read on Pink Stork what her story was, but it's memorable, right? And we've probably all known someone who has suffered from either postpartum depression or had horrible nausea during the pregnancy. So she's telling her story of how she took a challenge that she had and she established a very successful company. You can do the very same thing. Don't forget during your pitch to talk and highlight about solutions. Okay, our corporate representatives have told us time and again, they want to know that you've done your research on them. You know what their challenges are, and you're coming with an innovative solution. Right. So next slide, the elements of a great pitch. This is pretty basic stuff. And I always get a chuckle when someone says, oh, really? All I have to do is follow this. It's pretty much all you have to do is follow. Who are you? What are you selling? What are you, what solutions are you providing? When did you get started? 10 years, 4 years, last year, because you saw a great need. You can always use something new to your advantage, right? How are you providing the solutions? And then especially, why are you providing the solutions? And here you can also talk about why what's the differentiator? What solution, innovative solution are you bringing? And let me remind you that our corporate representatives have told us that you cannot go wrong if you are offering the following 6 solutions. One is safety. What can you do? What are you bringing to the table that is going to provide some kind of a safety solution? Because corporations are really interested in the safety of their team members and also in the safety of their customers, right? In the case of retail stores, for example. The second thing is sustainability. Yes, it's really important that you have a sustainability statement. And next month in April, we're going to have a whole workshop on how to help you put together a really nice sustainability statement. Efficiency. What are you bringing that is going to make the organization, the team, the way they appear in the marketplace more efficient? Next, number 4 is training. Corporations are always looking for innovative training solutions. Number 5, innovation, right? You can definitely use that word. This is an innovative idea that I'd like you to consider while you're looking at XYZ in your corporation. I've done this in a similar corporation in another industry or in the same industry, and here's what I can bring to you. And then finally, the cost, because we have to keep in mind that your costs have to be in line with whatever the bid opportunities are. Also keep in mind, though, that corporations will go with someone who has a bit higher cost if they're offering a really innovative solution. So corporations are not just looking at who's going to provide the least expensive service. Right? So next, your elevator pitch, right? It's all about preparation, it's about your body language, and it's about practice. So just as you can have more than one capability statement, you can also have more than one elevator pitch. And keep in mind that people's eyes at a conference like the WBENC conference, because there will be so many people, people's eyes will start glazing over, or they will begin to look past you to the person in line behind you if you go more than about a minute and a half. If you can get your pitch down to a minute, some way that it's interesting, that they want to learn more, that they are going to be asking you some questions, that's the best thing to do. And know what is most important to them. I attended a session a couple of weeks ago with Fernando Hernandez of Coca-Cola, and he said that what is most important to him is risk mitigation. So he wants to know, do you understand what risk mitigation means to a corporation like Coca-Cola? And what are you offering to help them mitigate their risks? So this is why you have to do research on the individual people that you want to meet. A great place, as I said, is LinkedIn. You know, if you want to meet with Fernando Hernandez at Coca-Cola, then you definitely want to connect with him prior and look to see, what is he commenting on? What groups does he follow? Look at the Coca-Cola LinkedIn page as well. Look at their social media. What is important to them? Look online at their annual report. What are they highlighting as accomplishments? What are they highlighting as trends and where they're going to be looking towards the future? You can put all of that into your elevator pitch. Related to body language, we tend to tense up when we're nervous, right? Our body becomes rigid. Our hands, we don't know what to do with our hands. Some people sway back and forth, and that can be distracting. So you always want to have a relaxed and open body language as you're presenting your pitch. Smile. You can tilt your head. You can lean in for emphasis. You can use your hands. I mean, there's all sorts of things that you can do to make yourself more interesting and to engage the person that you're speaking with. Then finally, with your elevator pitch, it really is all about practice. I'm helping a group of Canadian delegates prepare for this conference, and one of them sent me her elevator pitch, and it was all typed up. It was really beautiful, and she said she'd timed it all out, and she can get this page, everything on this page, in a minute and a half. And I said, well, good for you. But what happens if you stumble on a word? And she said, well, I'm going to practice. I'm going to memorize it. And I said, yeah, so it might come out sounding like you memorized it. And, things happen. What if you stumble? And she said, well, that's not going to happen. And I said, okay, are you open to a suggestion? And she said, yes. And I said, I like to suggest that you have in mind 3 key points that you want to make to the person that you're meeting with. And that way you don't have to worry about segues in your conversation, because each of these paragraphs has a segue. It's beautifully written. But when we speak, we don't speak that way. what you might want to consider, and I highlighted from what she sent me, 4 things. And I said, how about just saying, hi, Nancy, I'm with XYZ Corporation, and I would like to highlight 4 things that my company can do for you. The first, the second, the third, and the fourth. You know what those 4 things are. You don't have to memorize your presentation. Again, because if you stumble, you're going to get nervous, and then you're going to stumble even more. And so really the practice is, who are you? What is it that you're offering to this particular corporation? And let it kind of be natural. Let it roll off your tongue as you're speaking. So I hope that that is helpful when it comes to presenting your elevator pitch. All right, so next we're going to talk about follow-up. And as I had said earlier, we're going to seed, during the conference, how we're going to follow up with people, right? The first thing to remember is that you do not want to follow up the day after you meet someone. You do not want to follow up the week after you meet someone. They're at the conference just as you're at the conference. They're going to get back to their office, and they're going to be inundated with emails they didn't get to. So if your email is buried in that pile of emails they didn't get to, they're not going to get to it, right? Whereas if you wait a week, 10 days, you could send an email. Now it's bumped up to the top of their email list, and you're saying thank you and reminding them, we had this meeting and I've connected with you on LinkedIn, that sort of thing. So here, again, why do you want to contact them? And this is the follow-up portion, right? You want to establish a relationship. You want to solidify the relationship. You want to remind them that you met them at this really great conference. Thank you for being a sponsor. You had a lot of people at your booth. It was great to see how many women-owned businesses like mine feel they have an opportunity with your company, and here's what the solutions that I can provide. Okay, that talks about what you can offer them. And then the third thing is, why should they care? So as you're in line waiting for someone to finish meeting with the corporate representative, keep your ears and eyes open to see, how are they interacting with that person? Is there something that's said that you might be able to pick up on? Is it possible during the meet and greet sessions, for example, and there are 2 meet and greet sessions, and I really encourage you as certified WBEs to take full advantage of the meet and greet sessions at the WBENC conference. What else did you hear people say around the table? So for those of you who never attended a meet and greet, it's pretty cookie cutter, but it's very effective. So you will go at the appointed time into a very large room. You'll be given a sheet of paper that has all of the names of the corporations and their table numbers. You go and identify, you want to meet with UPS, they're at table 313. You want to meet with Office Depot, they're at table 205. You figure out who you want to meet with, and you just walk to that table and sit down. If there is no longer a seat at that table, go on to the next table. Okay, don't stand there, don't be upset, just move on to the next table. And while you're at the table, it's a timed session of, I believe it's 25 minutes, where the corporate representative from Amazon is going to say, I'm Leonard Spence with Amazon, or I'm Wande Lean-To from Amazon, and here's what we're looking for. And then they're going to go around the table, and everyone gets to introduce themselves and do a mini pitch. Okay, but keep your eyes and ears open while the other people are pitching, for a couple of reasons. First, you might learn something. Second, you might be able to create a strategic alliance. Third, you might get a really great idea that is something that you could use at a later pitch presentation. Okay, so I hope that is helpful for you all. And I don't see any questions in the chat, but Steph, I'm gonna turn it over to you now. Steph, are you with us? You might be.
Sorry,
Okay,
yeah, it wasn't letting me come off mute.
okay, great.
Yeah, let me hold on just a second. I've got to get my video here.
Okay, well, Steph, maybe while you're doing that, are there any questions from the participants? I've pulled up the chat. I don't see anything, but while we have your attention, does anybody have any questions?
There we go. There I am. Okay. It's yeah, so I don't see any questions. And so what we're going to do now, guys, is I'm going to share for a few minutes about what Nancy said is what we've got going on at the conference coming up. So thank you guys. First and foremost, I'm going to go back real quick. So we do want to invite everybody to a special session we're doing on April 13th, a couple weeks after the conference, where we're going to go even into more detail. Nancy gave you some really highlights on how to do that follow-up, but we want you to truly level up your follow-up. And so we want to encourage you to join the session. I will drop the link in, and then we will also be emailing it. Check your email. And you should find the link as well to this fabulous session coming up on April 13th. With that, you may have seen, and if you haven't, our theme this year is really focusing on leveling up everything we are doing. So talking about leveling the playing field and how we need to level up, whether it be talking to the corporates and what they are doing, but then also what we're doing as business owners and how we at WBEC Florida can support those initiatives. So our whole thing is leveling up, soaring to success, and we have decided to really adapt and embrace the monarch butterfly. So as Nancy mentioned, going into the Momentum Conference this year, they had assigned each region a color. Our color is orange for Florida. You can see I'm proudly wearing our orange today. And they will be looking for the most creative depiction and how we really embrace our color and bring it to life throughout the conference. And so Nancy and I, for those of you who know us, know that we love butterflies. It's the emblem of my personal business, and Nancy's, I think, both of our spirit animal. And when looking at what the monarch actually is, a monarch represents strength, endurance, spirituality, trust, transformation, evolution. It's just such a beautiful emblem for us as we talk about leveling up and driving momentum. And so we are integrating the butterfly throughout our wardrobe and different things. If you haven't had a chance to have clicked over, we had a little store that we made and that had some items. I'm so excited. I'll show you these guys. You may not be able to see it in the little window, so I'll show you. I got some of the things, a phone case and a couple other items from our store to really be showing the pride I have in being a part of WBEC Florida. So again, what they are doing throughout the conference is that Wednesday night specifically at the evening event is when we really need everybody to take it to the next level, to level up your wardrobe and embrace the orange. And as I mentioned, here's some of the inspiration that we're providing to you guys. Now, again, you don't have to go to this detail, but these are all things that we found off of Amazon. And so wearing butterfly wings, and if this is not you, don't worry about it. But again, they're looking on Wednesday night. It's going to be a really fun event. I haven't seen, I don't know if Nancy has, what any of the other regions are doing, but this is about showcasing your pride in your region. And our depiction again is around the monarch butterflies, but you could also wear orange dresses, orange shoes, but you will be seeing Nancy and I. We have our butterfly wings that we're going to be having. And then also on Thursday night's event is all around a Western country theme. And I did buy the butterfly boots that I will be wearing those because again, that is my emblem for my personal business. So again, just some inspiration, some ideas that we had to really help you guys think about that. Also, for any of you who've been to the conference with us before, you know, we always kick off the event with a meetup. And so our meetup is going to be Monday at 7 p.m. The picture is showing you where we're going to meet up at the Falls Bar and Lounge in the lobby. Look for the butterflies. It'll be really easy to find us, and the orange, and come. And it's a great opportunity for our regional members that are attending to say hello, to get to network and to meet up and just see who all is going to be representing there. We're going to have some butterflies we'll be sharing and handing out. So again, look for the butterfly balloon. I will have one that you can find us, and come on out. We also had a link. The email will go out again tomorrow to all of you, where you can just RSVP to let us know that we will be seeing you in the lounge, as well as some of this inspiration, a link to any of these products. Just know we are getting kind of close with a week out. So if you do want to buy anything to have, I would definitely get ahead of that sooner rather than later. So again, we looked at the schedule, and I know Naya's on here, and we had a couple other people that met up with us every morning last year at the conference for coffee, and we sort of talked through the agenda for the day, what we were going to do, divided and conquered when it came to sessions we might sit in on, and really just walk the floor together. It was so wonderful. We will be making a specific goal to hit all of our particular WBEC Florida sponsors and partners. We dropped by. We've got some great tip sheets that we're going to be dropping by and handing out along with our butterflies. And so we map out who all we need to meet, just as Nancy talked about. You have that opportunity in the app to do that. And so if you want to join us every morning, there is a coffee spot in there in the lobby that we will be just grabbing a cup of coffee, talking about the day, and really preparing. And this shows the agenda of what's going on. So again, Wednesday evening is your orange. Thursday evening is Western. We are really having fun. We're bringing some orange bandanas for Thursday night, so we'll be sharing those with those of you who find us. And so again, keep an eye out for the butterflies and all the orange. And so I'm going to stop this and bring Nancy on. And actually, real quick, I'm going to tell you about one other opportunity, and then I'm going to drop these links as we look at if there's any other questions and we look to wrap up. We are really excited. Nancy can talk a little bit more about this, but we've got a fabulous session coming up next week that is in partnership with Jackson Health Systems. It's all about leveling up your negotiation skills, which this is another great opportunity to prepare for the conference. You know, that if you do get a chance to take it a step further and have a one-to-one with anybody while you're there, you want to be prepared. And so the negotiation skills is fabulous. You're going to have a chance during the session to not only hear the negotiation skills methodology that Nancy teaches on how to really level that up and have a fabulous negotiation that benefits everybody and leaves everybody excited. Then Jackson Health will also have their procurement team on. We're going to have a panel with women business owners, and there's even going to be virtual networking. So I'm going to stop and bring Nancy up here, and maybe we could talk a little bit about that, Nancy, and then we can see if there's any more questions.
And Steph, do you want to go ahead and put your text, your cell phone number in the chat? That way people can text you and let you know when they've arrived. You can go ahead and put mine in there as well. So about the Jackson Health event, it's a virtual event, as Steph mentioned, and I'm going to be doing about a half-hour presentation on negotiation skills, and then the Jackson Health procurement team is going to come on and talk about some opportunities that they have coming up, and they will also be sharing through the panel some do's and don'ts, right? So we've got a couple of WBEs that have contracts with Jackson Health System, and they'll be talking about how they landed those contracts, how they negotiated the initial contract, what they did to renew the contract. So we believe that we learn best when stories are told, when examples are shared, right? So that's the whole purpose of this. The first part, you're going to learn what I think are some really neat tools through a system that I have developed that's going to help you through the negotiation process. Then you'll hear some opportunities. Then you'll hear from WBEs who've actually landed some contracts with Jackson Health, and you'll have an opportunity to go into networking in a breakout room session online. So we hope you will join us. That's coming up right next week. Okay, are there any questions? We have a little bit of time, and please, come back on the screen and let us know if you have any questions or comments about the event, what to expect, how to prepare. As I said, as we have said over and over again, it's one of the best women's events around. WBENC has been doing this event, I believe, for 21 years now. And it's always been, it gets better every year, right? And WBENC does a survey at the end of every event to ask what worked, what do you want to see more of? And they really take into consideration the responses. So we hope that you feel prepared. And if you're not feeling quite prepared yet, if you're overwhelmed, or if you just want to, have someone to toss some ideas around with, Steph and I are both available between now and the conference to help you get better prepared.
And I know I saw somebody asked for the link to our store. So we did do a brand store. I will tell you though, for some of the items, these items, I'll show you the phone. There's all the sizes of the phone case. This comes pretty quick. I think this just takes about a week. So you'd want to get that order in as soon as possible. Same thing with these. These are all US. It'll tell you it's a little late now to get the shoes or the purse, but a lot of the other smaller items are US sourced. So you can get these, but you can find orange shoes if you still want to get a pair on Amazon. And so if you didn't get a chance to get the logoed ones, definitely go on. You can find all kinds of fun shoes if you want. And the reason we do sneakers is kind of double fold. Not only is it fun, but it is a lot of walking. I think we did like 5 miles or something in one day last year, Nancy, if I'm not mistaken. So this is not the conference to bring out your really high, pretty heels. You want comfortable shoes. And so we are having fun with our logoed sneakers this year. But yeah, if you look, there's some really fun stuff. And then we're also going to keep the store live afterwards. I don't know about you guys, Nancy knows this, and any of you who see me up here in Jacksonville, I'm always walking around with my own logos. So now I am super excited to be getting out and about and really showing my pride in what we do here and how we are leveling up the conversation for women business owners. So, and the great thing too, just so that you guys know, a portion of everything you purchase does come back into the region, which obviously helps us support. And we are putting together a fund that Nancy and I are really hoping to do on a global scale, our global mastermind, where we will fund 12 women to go through that. So that's another great thing about the little store. So I'm going to find the link and put that in there. And again, are there any last minute questions before we wrap this up and just really get excited about momentum?
Yeah, so we have, I believe at this point, we have about 115 women from our area registered, and maybe a handful of exhibitors. So we definitely want, to make sure that you remember to go say hello to the exhibitors from our region. And then on our website, you'll be able to find who our local sponsors are, a number of whom are also national sponsors. So it's always a good idea to connect with them and to say thank you, and just to drop a note that you're looking forward to seeing them at the conference.
Perfect. If you missed anything, don't worry. Again, if you got the email last week, I'm sending out another email tomorrow just to our WBEs with everything, a lot of what we talked about today, the invitation to join us at the meetup on Monday, links to the store, links to other opportunities and orange gear and all that kind of stuff, as well as the Jackson Health event. So Nancy and I are here. We're super excited. I know a couple of people have already texted. I'm going to be putting everybody into sort of a group text to let you guys know, hey, we're here if you want to meet up. And like Nancy said, I think my biggest thing is I prepare just from my perspective is doing what she said is I've been reaching out really diligently on LinkedIn, as well as anybody that I have email or text. Hey, you're going to be at the conference. Looking forward to seeing you there. Let's connect. Just did that today with our contact at Florida Blue. This is when we're meeting. Love to have dinner, things like that. So, start that now. It's great. It may take them. Be mindful that it takes them usually a couple of days to get back to you. So that's why it's important to start that process now. And otherwise, just get ready to level up. And we hope to see the butterflies. Nancy and I are sporting ours and our orange. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Nancy, as always, for sharing such amazing tips with all of us to help us really be prepared to grow our business and to make this one of the most outstanding national conferences yet. And with that, we will say goodbye and we will see you guys in Nashville.
Take care.